Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about Canada's declining healthcare. Right now we're having a bit of a healthcare crisis in Canada, and I think it's really worth speaking about. To give some clarification on the severity of the issue, we have about 40.1 million in terms of population in Canada, and right now approximately we have 6.5 million Canadians without a doctor. And so to give you a little bit of context as to where that comes from the Canadian Health Institute, I believe it is. Let's just double check the exact source. Sorry, the Canadian Medical Association, right? And to top it all off, to make matters even worse, I have an article here, and the title of the article is, "Why are patients spending 22 hours in the emergency room waiting for a hospital bed?" Okay? The article goes on to say that only 23% of patients were given care only 23% of patients were admitted within 8 hours when they went to the emergency room. So just to reiterate there, what we're speaking about here is that some patients are spending 22 hours in the emergency room waiting, but of the overall patient pool, only 23% were admitted within 8 hours. Okay, guys, so clearly that's a really big concern. The median wait time is 30 weeks to see a doctor, which is the longest ever recorded, even longer than 27.7 weeks in 2023. Okay, so let's reiterate that again. So this year's median wait time is 30 weeks, and the longest ever recorded prior to that was 27.7 weeks. So if you guys can imagine you have a health ailment and you need to see a doctor, and imagine having to wait 30 weeks to see healthcare. And I'm going to get into my story because I've had issues with the healthcare system here as well. But I think the real kicker in all of this is another article that I'm going to read here briefly, and it's from CTV News, and it's about a man named Adam Bergoni. Forgive me if I'm pronouncing that wrong. He was 39 years old. And to make a long story short, he went to get some healthcare treatment in the ER, waited for 6 hours. The doctor stated he was fine. After waiting for 6 hours, he finally saw a healthcare practitioner. Then he ultimately said, okay, well, the doctor said I'm fine, so I'm going to go back. And then after going back, guess what? He passed, or he, ceased to exist. I don't know how much YouTube censors here, but he unfortunately, passed away. And so, I'm bringing all these statistics up because there are a lot of people, unfortunately, who are very disingenuous about how bad the decline of healthcare is in Canada. They're not honest, and they're not giving you the full story. They're not giving you the numbers. Like I said, 6.5 million Canadians without a doctor. That's more than 10% of the population. We only have 40.1 million people in Canada. So if 6.5 million do not have a doctor, that means that more than 10% of Canadians don't have a doctor. And then what makes it worse is you would then say, oh, well, it's okay because at least they can go to the ER. But then you have someone like this dude who I just described who went to the ER. The doctor said he was fine and then he passed. But even if they were to actually assess the health ailment correctly and begin to attempt to resolve his healthcare issue, the fact that they took 6 hours is a major concern. And if you think about it, for the longest time, healthcare has been Canada's sacred cow. It's been the sort of, important factor that many would sort of highlight when they want to brag about Canada. They'd be like, oh, well, Canada's better than many other places because our healthcare is free. That was always the argument, right? But think about this dude, Adam, who waited for healthcare, and it took so long that he ultimately passed. I mean, does it matter whether or not the healthcare is free? I mean, let's just do a thought exercise. Would he be better off paying, I don't know, let's say thousands of dollars or hundreds of dollars, because it's not always going to be extraordinarily expensive. It depends on your health ailment when it comes to private healthcare. It's not always like, oh, you just pay one standard fee. It depends on whether you have healthcare insurance. It depends on what the health ailment is. And so do you think this dude would be better off just paying some money and going into debt potentially, or not even going to debt, because it depends on how much he'd pay? Do you think he would have preferred to do that than cease to exist? Because guess what? Even if healthcare is free, the fact that this dude is no longer living, it holds no relevance because he never even got a discount or saved any money. And let's go into the healthcare thing a little further, guys. Is something free if you pay for it via taxes? I mean, how is this free? I mean, you're paying into the system every year you exist in Canada, and you're paying a percentage of your income. We pay taxes for a variety of different things. And so it's not free healthcare, guys. I mean, you're paying for healthcare via taxes. Like, you're paying for the service. It's just coming out of your paycheck when you work. And so this has really shined a light, this dude Adam passing. And guys, there's a documentary by a man named Aaron Gunn, and the whole documentary is called Dying to Wait, and it's essentially discussing these extraordinarily long healthcare times. Yeah, guys, I mean, this really highlights that Canada's golden calf, or Canada's sacred cow, or whatever you want to call it, Canada's prized possession that it views as being the great representation of the country, it's no longer available. You can no longer expect to go into the ER and get adequate healthcare in a timely manner. That's no longer a realistic expectation. And not just that you can't expect to get timely healthcare from Canada in terms of the ER, but now you can no longer expect to even get a family doctor. And if you do get a family doctor, like the article discussed, they said on average the wait time is approximately 30 weeks, right? And so 30 weeks for 30 weeks is the median. So keep in mind, it's the median. The median isn't even the average. So they went easy on Canada by giving the median, because they could have gave the average, and the average maybe even would have been more favorable. But honestly, it could have been worse technically, but at the end of the day, the median is a very fair statistical estimate. Median is very, very fair. So 30 weeks median means you very well could be waiting longer. Sure, you could be waiting less, but I kind of want to end this rant off on a personal story. I want to go into some details about my own healthcare, I guess you could say, issue that I had here in Canada, which was quite severe and quite concerning. And so I had a situation where I needed to see a healthcare specialist. And it wasn't too advanced of a specialist. I don't want to go into personal details right now for this video. I just want to give a general idea. But I had to see a healthcare specialist. Nothing too crazy, but just someone who needed to, help me out that wasn't a family doctor. And I was told from my family doctor it would take 3 months to see somebody, which, that's 12 weeks, which is less than the median. But because of the severity of the health problem I had, it was a very long time. And when I actually did finally see that healthcare practitioner, like, I'm just call a spade, he was quite mediocre, and that's me being gentle about it. And subsequently, because of how poor his assessment was of my healthcare ailment, I then told my family doctor that, hey, I need to see another healthcare specialist. So she told me it would take another 3 months. And so now we're basically at a 6-month wait time, guys. Right? So 6 months in total to see healthcare professional. Now, of course, once I was told that I was going to be another 3 months, I did not wait. Of course, I instantly hopped on a plane. I went to the States where I have some family, and I got my healthcare taken care of for $250. And so some might say, oh, well, how is it only $250? And this is what I keep emphasizing, guys. It depends on the severity of your healthcare ailment. It depends on how rare your healthcare ailment is. Mine wasn't anything rare. It was just I needed someone to do an assessment, and then from that assessment make a determination on what would be best to resolve my healthcare issue. And so, yeah, guys, I mean, the extent to which Canada's healthcare is declining at this point, it's not first world country acceptable. This is not what you would expect out of first world country. It's not reasonable, and considering the amount of taxes Canadians pay, it's disgusting. It's abysmal, right? But yeah, guys, this is today's rant. If you like the video, please give it a like. Please subscribe. I'm going to cover a lot of Canada's things going on in Canada, and I'm hoping I can sort of cover, geopolitical news and just things going on globally. And ideally, as the channel grows, who knows? Maybe I can get into even more topics and things of that nature. But anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed the rant. Hope everyone's having a good time and preparing for Christmas. God bless and peace.